All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for our March team call. I'm really excited for this team call this month because we have two special guest speakers. Tina Modrell is going to share her business testimony, and then Bree Leach is like a product guru. She's so smart with the products and just health in general. And she's going to share about our new wellness combo and what her family is, doing to stay healthy in this season. So our first speaker is going to be Tina. And the reason I wanted her to speak on this call this month is because she has an incredible business testimony. I think it is so inspiring to hear, how she started and where she is now. I mean, she is one of our star recruiters every month working that business and casting the vision for people. So I am really excited for you guys to hear her story because I know some people may be unfamiliar with it. So Tina, if you would like to take it away, you can share your journey with Plexus.
Okay, am I loud enough? Okay, all right, super. Okay, my name is Tina Modrell, and I am a gold ambassador right now. And my goal is to be senior gold before convention. That's my goal. I started Plexus for a couple of reasons, but I want to give you a little bit of background. Um, I we moved from Oklahoma to South Carolina because my husband's job. Long story short, I don't really want to go there at the moment because it's a long story. So when we moved from Oklahoma to South Carolina, our pay was like half of what it was before. We left our two oldest kids there because they were in school and college, and they were working jobs. So that was a stress. I had had a hysterectomy like 6 to 8 months before then. That was another stress. Um, when we got here, right before we moved, one of my daughters was diagnosed with anorexia and depression. And we even found a suicide note. So I was sleeping outside her door out of fear. So we were trying to find help for her. So that's another stress. And then my youngest daughter, bless her heart, all she wanted was to take piano lessons and for her mom to stop crying all the time. So that's how Jennifer found me. She sent me a message because we had come to their church, and I didn't know who she was. And she said, "Hey, this is Jennifer. I go to your church." And then we started talking a little bit, and I watched her for a few months with the Plexus stuff, and she finally said, "Tina, I really think you would do really well with this." And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I can't do this. But it was in the back of my mind because I knew we needed help financially. So um, I said, you know what? I'm going to try this because I am miserable and I need to feel better. So I started Plexus, and 3 days later, I felt the difference. And I knew that I had to share. And 4 months later, I went sober, and I was doing really good until I started listening to negative voices. And people were saying, "You're too old," or or that you can't do this if you're in the ministry, or whatever it is. And I was not strong enough in my belief in the company and in the products at that time to not take that on. And so I let that bother me, and I let it get to me. And instead of focusing on the business, it became a hobby. And I wasn't doing it like I should. And it got to the place where the 3 people that I had signed up, my original 3, had even fell off. And I was beginning to wonder, can I even do this? I don't know that it's really possible for me. So anyway, my daughter went to Nashville, Tennessee, to a place called Mercy Multiplied, and she started getting better. And we were able to get my other daughter in the piano lessons, and so she was happy. And I started saying, you know what, something's got to change. I've got to change this. My husband also ended up going to another job that it sounds like what he does is top the job's job. He doesn't. I promise he doesn't. But it was a tough time in our lives where he was just trying to make it. Okay. So anyway, I know that a lot of people right now are in a situation where they aren't working their jobs and they aren't having that income that they need. And it's hard. I know it's hard. So interplexus, and I know that Jennifer had been sending me those things. Listen to these diamond documentaries. Listen to this testimony. Think about this. You can do this, and trying to encourage me. And I don't know why she kept trying, because I didn't really encourage her, but she kept trying. So anyway, one day it clicked, and I started reading those two books that I want to tell you what they are: 15 Invaluable Laws of Growth by Maxwell. And one of the quotes in there that stuck out was, "Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We have only today. Let us begin." And that's by Mother Teresa. And then I was reading that and this Rachel Hollis book at the same time, Girl, Stop Apologizing. And I realized I was apologizing all the time, even if it wasn't my fault. I was apologizing. What is wrong with me? And so she was talking to a girl who had just had a baby, and she's like, "I'm not doing really good in my business, and it's frustrating me." And she said, "Girl, give yourself some grace." And I was like, boom, girl, give yourself some grace. Start over. Start from where you are. Start from now. And then one more thing I was reading was Craig Rochelle's devotion. It's called Six Steps, excuse me, Six Steps to Your Best Leadership. And it's on the YouVersion Bible app. And there's links to other things there for him that are really good. So I would recommend that too. But there was three things that stuck out to me in that. I want to share those really quick because they helped me get my mind where it needed to be. The first one is there's three reasons we get stuck and don't succeed. The first one, we focus on the goals, but we don't focus on how to get to those goals. And that was my problem. I was like, yes, I want to get to this place, but I wasn't figuring out how. And winners and losers have the same goal. Everybody wants to get to that finish line, but not all people do. And the reason they don't is because they don't have successful systems and habits. And that's what I needed desperately. And in both of these books and in that devotional thing, habits, habits. What are your habits? Because your habits are going to determine the direction you're going to go. So I wanted to tell you about Daniel in the Bible. What was his habit that got him in trouble? But what was his habit that made him promote and promote and promote in the kingdom? 3 times a day, he would get by himself. He would pray and he would focus on God and, I believe, what he had to do for that next little bit. Then a little bit later in the day, stop, pray, focus. What is it that I need to do? I'm telling you, we're all busy and we have to have that time to stop, think, pray, and then go on to the next thing. But that's what I got out of that for Daniel. But think about it. Daniel was made fun of. People were jealous of him. People tried to sabotage him. And people tried to keep him from doing what he was called to do. Listen, if you're in Plexus, you are called to help people. And you have to keep that focus. You have to remember that that is what you are called to do as a Plexus ambassador. And when I got my mind out of my own self, and I realized I could make a difference, that was huge for me. So that was the first thing. Excuse me. I needed to realize that my habits were going to determine my direction. What were my habits? Were my habits me giving up? Or were my habits me doing my IPA every day? Even if it was hard, even if it meant I had to stay up late or get up early or schedule it during whatever time I had, during my lunchtime or during the kids' nap time or whatever it was, okay? I had to schedule it and I had to do it every day. So our habits determine our direction. Number 2, we don't succeed when we give up because we don't see progress fast enough. That was another problem that I had. I was like, I am not seeing progress fast enough, and I don't believe that I can do this. Okay, have you ever watched a pot of water until it boiled? It's hard because it lights up, it heats up 1 degree at a time, and we can get impatient. I can get impatient. Maybe y'all are all doing really good, but I can get impatient. And so it feels like forever when you're just watching it it's going to get to that temperature. It's going to get to that temperature. So sometimes we get impatient and we take it off. It's not going to boil. It's just not going to get there. And we take it off. If we take it off the heat, it's definitely not going to boil. But if you leave it on and you leave it there consistently and you let it stay on that heat, it's going to get to boiling temperature. So another saying, I have a lot of these, success comes when we are consistent, even when we don't see the results immediately. Okay, the third thing, I'm zipping through these. The third reason we get stuck and don't succeed is because we have a distorted identity. And the first time I heard somebody speak on this, the second time, the third time, the fourth time, I thought that's just a bunch of crap. I just need to do this, 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 and this, and it's going to get me there. But it's not a crock. It's the truth. Because what you believe and how you see yourself comes out in everything that you do and everything that you say. It does. And ultimately, what we do is when we don't see ourselves the way we should, we excuse bad habits. We excuse things we shouldn't excuse. Oh, that's just the way I am. I can't talk to people that way because that's just the way I am. I can't drink enough water because it's just the way I am. You know what the excuses are. And we need to stop making those excuses because that's not just the way we are. Let me give you another Bible example because they're everywhere. Gideon was hiding in a wine press because he was afraid of the enemy. Usually when they would get the wheat, they would throw the wheat up in the air and the chaff would fall down and they would have the wheat for their family. Okay? He was in a wine press. That means he was hiding underground. He didn't want people to see him because he was scared. Okay, God wanted him to lead the people, but he needed to let Gideon know that that's not who he was. Gideon was not scared. God was going to tell him who he was. And listen to what the angel calls him, mighty man of valor. So this guy that's hiding in a wine press to hide to get his family the food, God called him the mighty man of valor. That's how God saw him. And that's how he wanted Gideon to see himself. So that's where I was back before I started really working on these. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't believe in God being able to work through me to help people. I didn't see this as a ministry. I didn't have healthy habits. And so I said, okay, let's change these things. And so I started working on all these things. And about 6 to 7 months after I really started working on those things was when I got to gold. Basically, I started over. I got new people to be silver, and I started working towards gold. Let me tell you just a few things, and I promise I won't take much more time. But this is what I would tell you to do. Write down who you want to be. Who before do. Write down who you want to be first before what you're going to do. I am going to be a diamond one day, okay? I am going to be an encouraging mother to my children. What is it? What is it that you're thinking of? Say that. This is who I'm going to be. This is who God wants me to be. This is the ministry God has given me to minister to my family, to minister to my husband, to minister to my team. And this is who he wants me to be. So write that down. And then what is one habit that you can develop in the next month that will get you towards your goals in that category? Okay, in my business, I am going to do my IPA every day. I am going to commit to it every day. I'm going to do my IPA. In my health, I'm going to drink half my body weight in ounces of water. I'm going to do it. It's going to be difficult because, I have to put something in it, but I'm going to do it. And then the third thing I want you to do after you write down who you believe God wants you to be, who you know you ought to be, write down the habit that you need to develop to get there, and then put it on your calendar. Because if you can't measure it, you're not going to be able to know if you're reaching it. So this is an example. I want to make my bed every day. I'm going to be a good bed maker-upper, okay? So I'm going to make my bed every day, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a sticker on my mirror in the bathroom, and it's going to say, every day after I brushed my teeth, I'm going to make my bed. You know what? If you do that for a month, it's going to be automatic. It's just going to happen. And so that's what I would say as far as your business, as far as your marriage, as far as anything in your life. Do those things. That's what I did. And that's how it made a change for me. Let me give you 2 more things and I'm done. Remember, if we are faithful in the little things, then he will bless us with bigger things. And number 2, positive, small, consistent, daily decisions will get you to your goals if you don't give up. Say that one more time. Positive, small, consistent, daily decisions will get you to your goals if you don't give up. That's it.
Oh, Tina, like who else feels like they're going to see Tina speaking on a stage at like a Plexus event one day? Like that was amazing. Like that was so good. And one of my favorite things that you shared is that like you implemented all these changes, you went through all this self-growth, but even from then it was 6 to 7 months before you hit gold. So like you were saying, it's not this like immediate, like you decided to, have this mindset shift and then everything fell into place. You still had to work on it and you stayed consistent. And I think that speaks volumes about you and where you're going. And just, I mean, I'm so impressed by you and your story and like the things that you did to invest in yourself. Not only just for Plexus, but the things you did, I mean, can apply, to every aspect of your life. So thank you for sharing. I know that, the people on this call are, blessed by what they just heard you share, and the people who are going to listen to this recording are going to feel the same way. So I appreciate it. And I can't wait to like book you for other things too, because you did so great. So thank you. All right. Well, next up, so we heard Tina's story about the business and everything. Now we're going to shift into some product talk because I don't know if you've noticed, but people are really worried about their health right now. And, we have some amazing supplements to help with that. So Bree is going to share about the wellness combo, the products that can help, and like I said, what she is doing with her family. So take it away, Bree.
All right, thank you, Megan. My baby is acting like she's trying to wake up, so I might have to go grab her, but I would be right back. Thank you, Tina, for sharing. I am so inspired by your story and everything that you shared, and I love how a lot of what you talked about actually transfers into our health too. Like it's the small daily commitments that we make that make these over time, these big changes in our health. So yeah, like Megan said, people are pretty concerned about their health. Who's concerned about their toilet paper supply? Like, put in the chat, like, if you're storing out of toilet paper or if you were fully stocked, because I know where I shop, they're completely out. So a lot of people are really concerned right now about their health. They're concerned, and it's like not even, a normal, like, I'm concerned I might get the flu or something like that. It's really the fear of the unknown. And a lot of that puts a lot of stress on our bodies. Stress really hurts our physical and mental health. So I just want to encourage you to like take a deep breath and try to really relax. And I know it's hard, but it's really important for our health. So first I'm going to go over a few things that we should just be doing in our everyday normal life that we can kind of overlook. So these are things like deep breathing, eating really healthy, nutritious foods, staying away from sugar and foods that cause inflammation, like highly processed foods. Getting out into the sun as much as possible. I know it's kind of hard this time of year, especially in Ohio. But vitamin D is really good for our body. Getting outside, fresh air, moving our bodies, getting plenty of water. Our bodies need a lot of water to stay healthy. So now I'm going to move on to some of the things that I love about Plexus, because if we don't do those top things, those things that I just listed, you can't really neglect your body in a significant way and then just take a couple of pills every day and be like, well, Plexus will fix that. It's not really how it works. We need to support our bodies as much as we can. And when we do support our bodies, Plexus products take it to the next level. So even if you do all of these things and you take all of these products, you might still get sick. But if you're taking really good care of your body, if you're putting good things into your body, high quality products into your body, the chances of you getting over your illness quicker is a lot higher. The chances of you not having it as bad is a lot higher. So Plexus just introduced this everyday wellness combo. And it's honestly probably my favorite combo so far. I mean, I think they could have added BioCleanse into it, and then I would have been like, yeah, but I don't mind. Like, it's such a great combo. So I want to highlight a few things about each of these products. So the Vital Biome, it helps to reduce stress. I don't know about you, but I'm stressing about toilet paper right now. It also helps to support a healthy immune system. And that's really one of the key parts of our health. Because you can lose weight and you can be thin, but if you have a poor immune system, you're going to get sick and you're still going to struggle in your health. It also stabilizes hormones and promotes relaxation. Vital Biome is one of my favorites because it's one capsule and I feel a significant difference. Sometimes, like during the day, if I forget to take it, I don't necessarily am like, oh, I didn't take my Vital Biome. But like if I miss it a few days in a row, I can really tell. I can really tell in my mood. So then the next one I want to talk about is X Factor. X Factor actually also helps to improve mood. So I know a lot of you guys are going from, having your kids in school to now you have your kids home with you, and that can be really stressful. That type of big change can be really hard. So I think if we are doing everything that we can to support our mood and our mental health, we set the tone in our home. We set the tone, the mood in our home. So I don't know about you, but I could use all the help I can get. So Vital Biome and X Factor Plus, those would be really beneficial for that. X Factor Plus also helps to bridge the gap between diet and our actual nutritional needs. So like today, my kids ate applesauce, and I was just remembering how the studies show that an apple has half the amount of nutrients it did as when our grandparents ate an apple. So it's really important to me that my kids get their nutritional needs met, and X Factor Plus and X Factor Kids is really good for that. X Factor Plus and X Factor Kids also has vitamin C, and that's one of the things that we really need to help fight off viruses. X Factor Plus also promotes mental clarity. So if you are going to be homeschooling your kids and you haven't done 3rd grade math in a while, it'll help. So the next thing is Probio 5. Probio 5 and Ease are probably my 2 of the products that I recommend the most because they make such an immediate difference, and they're for pretty much everybody. So Probio 5 supports healthy bacteria in the gut, and 70% of our immune system is in the gut. So if you are prone to illness, if you're prone to sickness, if you know someone prone to sickness, see if you can get them on Probio 5 and BioCleanse or Triplex. Even if this everyday wellness combo doesn't excite them and they're more lured in by having a healthy weight, the Triplex combo will help with their weight as well as with their gut health. Because if you have poor gut health and you're trying to keep sickness away, you're gonna really struggle. It's like, pushing like a boulder uphill. Like it's gonna be real hard. So then the last one in our everyday wellness combo is Ease. Ease is really good at reducing inflammation, and that is part of the reason why it reduces pain, is because inflammation and pain are directly correlated. So the the cool thing about these is that not only does it have New Zealand green lip mussel, which reduces your inflammation, but it also has serapeptase. And serapeptase reduces inflammation, but it does so in a really unique way. It thins fluids so they can drain from inflamed areas more easily, and it also prevents excessive protein buildup. But hang with me, because that means that it helps you to breathe easier. So if you have a cold and your nose is stuffed up, serapeptase can actually help with that. It helps you be able to blow your nose more easily, because when you're sick, the serapeptase breaks down the proteins in the mucus and it makes the mucus thinner. So I just thought that was a pretty handy side note, and that's in REs. So pretty cool stuff. Also, if you don't have your kids on our kids X Factor chewables, the kids chewable also has probiotic in it. So a lot of people, I get asked quite a bit, should my kids also take Probio 5 if they're taking X Factor Kids? And my answer is it just depends. It depends on your child and your situation. Can they swallow capsules? I feel like it's easier to give it to them if they can swallow capsules. You don't have to break it apart. But the other thing is, are they suffering from gut health issues? Do they have symptoms of poor gut health? And if they do, I would totally give them Probio 5 and the kids X Factor Plus, X Factor chewables, because once they get their gut health under control, they can go down to just the X Factor Kids probiotic combo, and they won't have to take Probio 5 forever. It's really cool. So sometimes, I know, like when we talk about these products, we get so excited, and when people say, hey, you know, what should I take? And we like puke 10 different products on them. And then we send them to our website, and it's like more money than they were expecting. 10 products is kind of a lot, especially if you're not used to spending money on your health. And that's one of the big mistakes that I made early in my business is I was like, you need the triplex, you need the Fab 5, like you need all of the products, and that is wonderful. And if people can afford it, and there are a lot of people who can, that like the double welcome pack or the $199 welcome pack, that is an awesome deal, and it's a great thing for them. But I've had people who have come to me and been like, you know, I'm not sure that I can afford that. So if they can't afford the Everyday Wellness combo or, you know, the triplex and a couple other products, just remember Plexus is for everyone, and Plexus is for every budget as well. So if they truly can afford it, still help them out. Help them to get started on the path to better health. Maybe they just need to start with X Factor Plus. Maybe they just need to start with Probio 5 and BioCleanse. Maybe all they can afford is X Factor chewables for their children. But getting them to start that little step may make all the difference in their health. And it may help them to realize that, you know, maybe this is more affordable. And even if it's not more affordable in their budget, if they, you know, just do one product and that's all they ever take, if you take really good care of your customers and you help to meet their needs and you check in on them frequently, they can refer people to you, and you may find other people that you can help just because you had someone try one product. So I just want to encourage you. I think this Everyday Wellness combo is fabulous, and I know that I'm putting that in my subscription, and I hope you do too. But help all of your friends and family, even the ones who have a little bit smaller budget. So that's all that I had tonight.
All right, thank you. I think it helps to give some calm in this, you know, people are so fearful and anxious right now, and I understand that, but it helps, I think, to calm things down when you realize like we have these products at our fingertips, and Plexus has made it so easy for us to get these and as affordable as possible. And so I'm really thankful for that. So thank you for sharing and using those big words that like serapeptase. So thank you for sharing that with all of us. So that concludes our team call for this month. I am so thankful for Tina and Bree. What like a powerhouse combo of women. And so I'm so grateful you guys took the time to share tonight and invest in the entire team. So keep sharing this wellness combo. Be a light and positive, a positive force on social media right now while people are struggling, because they're going to want to know what you're doing or what you have that's making you shine bright while everyone else is struggling. So I will do my best to upload this call and get it on the team page. But thank you all so much. Happy March.